Yo, what's poppin' everyone? Welcome back to the channel, Zach Lesage here. Today we're going to be going over a very interesting deck, Lost Zone with Raging Bolt EX. This is one of the decks that I'm very excited about, and I was excited about Raging Bolt in general, but it combines my love of Raging Bolt with Lost Zone box to present a brand new deck. I hope you enjoy watching this video, learning more about the list, the strategy, and the gameplay. So if you like all that, give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments what you think about this deck. Let's jump into the list. Here we have it, Lost Zone Raging Bolt. We have a variety of attackers, but since we're a Raging Bolt deck and require both lightning and fighting, we do have a variety of different Pokemon such as Slitherwings and Iron Hands EX that we could choose from. This deck is very similar to the previous amazing rare Rayquaza Lost Zone deck that we saw about a year ago, and maybe that's going to be the inspiration for this deck. That being said, the list is available in the description if you want to copy and paste it right into PTCG Live, or if you need a reference point for it in real life. If you need any cards online or in real life, be sure to check out our sponsors at Kayfabe Cards and our sponsors at PTCGL Store. Be sure to check it out and check the description for any discounts or website links that you have. Let's jump into the strategy. Starting off with Raging Bolt, that's going to be the main card of our deck. We're trying to build up energies with Bellowing Thunder to do 70 times for each energy we discard. In order for us to get these energies on our Pokemon, we have a couple ways to make it happen. We can manually attach energies, we can use Professor Zeta's Vitality to our ancient Pokemon in play, accelerating energies from the discard pile, or we can use Mirage Gate. Mirage Gate's going to only activate by getting cards into the Lost Zone, so we want to use cards such as Comfey to use Flower Selecting and get some cards in our Lost Zone there, Lost Vacuum, and we also have access to Colress's Experiment, which is going to be one of our main draw supporters of our choice. The thing that I like about this deck is most of our draw supporters are actually drawing cards, whereas other decks have a combination of cards like Boss's Orders, Roxanne, and other cards you might not necessarily want to use. With Colress's Experiment and Professor Zeta's Vitality, we're almost always advancing our board states. Throughout the game, we can get to 4 cards in the Lost Zone to use Cramorant, Lost Provision to use Spit Innocently for free. We can use Mirage Gates at 7 so that we can accelerate energies to our various Pokemon. And of course, once we get to 10, we do have a 1 Sableye with 1 Psychic Energy, so we could use Lost Mine. A card that I was considering adding into this deck is Flutter Mane, because it also takes a similar engine, and we could probably toss it in. I decided to cut it for some other consistency cards, such as the second Rescue Board. It might be something that I might be find painful during this deck profile. We'll have to find out. So we need a variety of ways to search out our Pokemon, gust up our opponent's Pokemon, and eventually either knock them out with one of our small Pokemon, like Cramorant, against other small Pokemon, like their Cramorant, or use something like Raging Bolt EX to knock out something big, like a Charizard EX. There's a lot of little nooks and crannies when it comes to this deck, and I'm hoping to share and showcase what that could be when it comes to gameplay. If there's any cards that you might have questions about, or any inclusions or ideas, feel free to let me know in the comments below. We do get back to all comments available. So let's take this Raging Bolt EX deck out on the ladder and show everyone what the coolest Pokemon EX from Temporal Forces really is. Let's get it. So we're going to call Tails, and we'd love to go second. We don't want to go first, not at all. Just so we have access maybe to Colress on our first turn, and maybe a Comfey. That'd be fantastic if we could. In this case, I'm not too upset about starting with a... I think I'm going to start with the Raging Bolts. Although this might be a little bit better to start with the Radiant Greninja, just because I don't know what type of matchup I'm playing against. And we'll have to see. We do have the potential option to attack with Raging Bolt on our first turn. We can use Zeta, so we don't always have to use Colress. We do have some donk ability factor when it comes to this matchup. And we'll see what whatever our opponent flips up. Them going first is probably just going to be putting down an energy and searching something out. And we could also use our opponent's town store so that we could search out our rescue board. So that'd be quite helpful to grab another card out of our deck. We're going to conceal cards of lightning energy away. And we have some opportunities here to just get some kind of energies in play. I don't know if they necessarily want to retreat. I guess I don't know that we can get the knockout if we find a rescue board. So we'll see how it plays out. They didn't find anything from their deck. What are they going to find? They have a research in their hand. Just a 1 of research. Probably would have been better to hold on to their Pokegears in case I play a card that's disruptive. But that's up to them. That being said, I'm going to use Town Store. We're allowed to search through our deck, determine what we want. We didn't prize a rescue board. We prized a Comfey. We're really looking for some more ways to get some energies in our discard pile. And I think like we're going to go ahead and start off by pitching a Lightning Energy. So that gets us an energy for Setas. This gets us a Nest Ball. Nest Ball is going to be able to get us a Comfey. We can go ahead and play Switch into Comfey. We can now use Flower Selecting, see what we can get going on over here. I think since we have another Setas in our hand, we're going to go ahead and just go like this. And since we can discard a couple energies, we're going to go ahead and use Professor Setas, getting the Lightning Energy. And we can now go ahead and put a Fighting Energy on this Pokemon. Our opponent probably wasn't expecting this at all, so let's go ahead and use a Skateboard. We're going to retreat. It's a little bit more aggressive than what I want it to be, but that's completely fine. Let's go with the Raging Bolt, and we will take the 1 prize card here. So let's go Bellowing Thunder for the knockouts. Our opponent's now going to have to find another Miraidon. They might have prized their Miraidon or something else like that, and they're not. And then they're gonna have to attach an energy, which might set our opponent back a little bit. So that's why I decided to go with like a little bit of an aggressive start, and we can get those energies back and maybe match it a little bit later. We're not going for like much of a Lost Zone box strategy right now, but we certainly have some opportunities where we could make some cool plays. For our opponents not able to find a Miraidon with an energy, we effectively wasted their turn. And if they do, it is what it is. We'll be able to maybe knock out another one this following turn. I think they have 110 HP, so we could knock it out with a Cramorant. So that's really what our game plan is going to be, is hopefully knocking it out with a Cramorant. Maybe we can get out a Professor Setas Prime Catcher knockout with Slitherwings here and Lost Vacuum to really put our opponent behind in the game. Probably going to hit for some decent numbers here. Wait, what? Looks like they somehow messed that up. I'm not entirely sure how that played out, but let's go Town Store. We're just going to grab out another... oh, we drew the rescue board in our hands. That's okay. There is no set order to our deck. Let's start off by using concealed cards. We're going to pitch away the water in our hands. And this does allow us to get to a Nest Ball. I wouldn't mind even just knocking out the Miraidon if we had the option to. And I think we're pretty close to getting there. So let's go ahead and go Nest Ball, searching our deck for the Slitherwing. Could give us an opportunity to knock out this Miraidon. They probably only played 2. And before doing anything else, I think I want to go ahead and switch card into the Comfey, see what we get off the top card of our deck. I think I'm just going to go for the Fighting Energy. So this guarantees us getting the knockout on the Miraidon. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Professor. We can actually get the knockout on Iron Hands if we really wanted to. Let's go for the Professor Setas here. Lightning goes there, Fighting goes there, and we'll decide what we want to do very shortly. We have Colress for the future. I think what I'd want to do is actually knock out the Iron Hands, given the opportunity, because we could use Colress next turn in order to get things going. So let's go ahead, do this. We'll go ahead, Prime Catcher, bring up their Iron Hands. Sending this up. I don't know if I care about anything else that they have. And we're just going to go ahead and go for the knockout with Burning Turbulence. So, again, don't need to always go for a Lost Zone box kind of gameplay. This is a little bit different than how I normally would play the deck, but sometimes when you're put in a situation, you got to go for some interesting routes. And we did just take out their Iron Hands EX. They knock us out. They draw 1 prize card. I use Cramorant, knock out their Miraidon. Then they're really stuck without having too much else extra. So I think it might end up being a pretty tough one for our opponent. It's also cool to see Slitherwings, a card that I didn't think was going to actually see much play, actually seeing play. So that's one of the most exciting things that I have going on right now. There's the knockout. and we'll see whatever our opponent's doing here. Sweet. And now we can focus on more of a Lost Zone box gameplay by using Mirage Gates and cards like that. We're going to start off, we already have our other escape board and all that stuff, so let's start off by using concealed cards first, because we can get some cards in our discard pile. Might as well use Heavy Ball to see if there's anything else. We have a Fighting, a Buddy Poffin, and a Nest Ball prize. Good to know. We have a Chorus's Experiments, and we probably just want to grab this, this, and this, because we have another Comfey available in our hands. This puts us to 4 in the Lost Zone. We're going to go ahead and go flower selecting, and we're going to be searching for some other Pokemon. There's a Cramorant, which brings us to 5. This is going to knock out their Miraidon. And I'm going to attach a Fighting Energy to Raging Bolts. Another thing that I'm going to do... Okay, so they're going to concede. They know exactly what's going on. We're able to get the knockout, and you can see that this deck is a little bit different than most. But we were able to put ourselves in a very winning position in that game. That's what we got going on with Lost Zone Raging Bolts. I'm not going to lie, I played a handful of games, but I did have a lot of games where I ended up going Raging Bolt, have to use its first attack, pitch into a hand of all energies. Seems like the PTCG Live shuffling algorithm was a little bit off for me today, but I did get to show a really exceptional game, which showed a variety of attackers, different ways to play this deck, and I think this deck has a lot of potential in our current format. Whether this deck has already won the European International Championships or not, I'm not sure. I'm pre-recording this before I leave, so even if it comes out afterwards, these are all previously recorded videos. Regardless, I hope everyone enjoyed watching this video. Again, if you need any of the cards, check out our sponsors at Kayfabe, at PTCGL Store, or Ultimate Guard. I really like those new deck boxes that we have, the Sidewinders. So check out the website if you're looking for a brand new deck box. They're absolutely gorgeous, and they're very Hawaiian themed for the Pokemon World Championships. That being said, if you're looking for any coaching from myself, hit me up at metafy.gg/@ZachLassage. I'll catch up with all y'all later. Peace out, and have a great one. Want to support the Shuffle Squad? Be sure to check out all of our sponsors in the description to pick up Pokemon TCG singles, sealed, and PTCG Live codes. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this entire video from the Shuffle Squad. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate each and every person that supports our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week, even from time to time, and continuously allows us to have a forum to project our creative content towards the Pokemon TCG community. So if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment to help boost the YouTube algorithm. That being said, we'll catch you with our next video. Thanks again. Take it easy.